So going into this first round, honestly, a lot of it is just blocking out the thought process of failure. What can I do to get the car running right? What can I do to make it to the event right? What can I do to make sure that all of my teammates make it there? So it's a lot of it's just blocking out all that negative thought process of what's gonna go wrong. So honestly, there's not just like one other thing that can go wrong within a race week, and everyone always thinks it's the race car itself, but it could be the trailer, it could be the truck that needs to get there, it could be the race team. All of a sudden, your crew guy just can't make it. It literally is almost anything, and I think that's the most stressful and somewhat vulnerable part of all of this, is because when that happens, you're on an island, and you're like, okay, well, how do I get off this island? So going into day one of this competition, honestly, I was super pumped. I was pretty confident. I knew that the car was there. It was making great power. It felt great on the dyno. It was showing everything going smoothly. And I was just like, finally, yes, this is the one. This is where the car is gonna do what I want it to do. And I'll be able to show my kind of driving prowess, or how good I could actually drive something. In our first run, and the first one's always the most stressful because you're getting everything ready, you're fresh at the track, where's everyone going, all that stuff. So you're just rushing to the track and making sure everything's right. And with that, after the first lap, the car felt good. I mean, it was a lot of rain, but when we came back, my crew guy was like, you have 0 PSI in your front tire. And it turns out that our lower control arm was knocking a valve stem and letting air loose. And it ended up being a bigger deal than we thought it was. So we missed all of the first practice. So after we found out what was wrong with the valve stem actually getting a lower control arm, we found out it was a relatively easy fix. All we had to do was flip that said valve stem inside out. And what that did was basically plug that hole that the valve stem was just put there to do. And in the end, that was really it. We shaved down a bolt a little bit and we were able to keep going.
Knappich, always flirting with greatness. Let's see what he's got. Knappich, wide swing, now comes back, turns good. Oh,
out.
Knappich goes off course.
Foul.
Oh no.
So unfortunately, all the practice, all of it was wet. And then lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, when we actually need to go and compete, it's fully dry. And with that, we've got a semi-dry setup on the car, and it's got different grip levels, et cetera, and I could probably throw a bunch of excuses at it. But in the end, I was powering through the top of the hill, and I had to let go of the throttle a little bit, snapping back the car, and I ended up driving off the track. I was a little upset, so on my follow run, I just tried to be as aggressive as possible and see if I can make the competitor make a mistake.
Here we go. Jimenez. He is on a major advantage with Knappich exiting the track, but Knappich's not just going to hand it to him, or is he? As Jimenez maybe felt him breathing down his neck, but shook it. Nope, not the case. Jimenez from Hollister, California, definitely needs to tighten up his line, but with that mistake, Looks like Jimenez will dial it in and advance on.
He did really well, and unfortunately, we just didn't go on. So as far as going into the next round, honestly, what I would love to do is get more seat time in the car at the track that I'm actually going to be racing at. So we're going to try to see if we can set up some practice days before actually going to the competition, see what the car reacts like at the actual track that we're going to be racing at. Because seat time is key, and I just need more of it. So second day is all finished up. It's definitely more of a fanfare thing because unfortunately we didn't make it into the competition, but as they say, that's racing. And you know, the first day it stung a lot, but honestly the next day with all the fans coming back and saying how much they like the car, or we're just stoked to be there, it definitely softened all the blow. So all in all, pretty good. I love to see the fans. It's great to see that people are inspired. They like the car, they like what we're doing, all that. So that's super cool. Like that really puts a band-aid on the hurt of not performing well. And you know, you just want to do well for the fans, and just it's always appreciated. So it's pretty wild how much fans appreciate you, how much they put their own time and effort into stuff to bring you things, and it just because they appreciate you. One of them, which is probably the most outstanding one, is she goes by Drift Grandma, and she made a bracelet with my name and my car number on it, which is wild. She did it for me, she did it for all the other drivers. So that's so cool. That's so crazy that somebody would do that, because I'm just a person. I'm just another guy, and we all are. We're just out there doing what we want to do. Speaking of another kind of unique thing, a kid came by. He literally took apart his desk, and he brought the desk so that all the guys can sign it. He's going to clear coat over it, put it back on, and just have that so that he can work on it all day. That's cool. So it is just wild to see what people appreciate. Sometimes we live behind the lens for way too long, and it's cool to see the fans, to see what we actually do outside of this bubble. So a big thing I would love to say to the fans is just thank you. Like, that's what makes it all worth it. Like, you go out and you do your best, and sometimes it just doesn't work out, clearly. And the fact that you guys still even appreciate it just means more to us than I think that they even understand. And it's this crazy, like, we appreciate you, you appreciate us, and it just keeps building type thing. So honestly, it's just thank you. So Saturday, for the most part, is fanfare day for us. And honestly, Atlanta does not disappoint ever. They have a huge amount of people that come out. It's insane. And it really just kind of reinforces what we're doing. You know, when you don't do well at the race, but people still like the car, or it motivates them to do X, Y, Z, it just makes you feel good about still actually going out there, driving out 2,000 plus miles, and then maybe not having the ideal event, but everyone still kind of is excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Belle.
My name's Garrison Ray.
My name's Alex.
My name is Ellis.
My name's Ollie.
My name is Luke.
Hi, my name's Noah.
I'm Chase.
My name is Darius Fitch.
I'm Jacob Bailey from Greenville, South Carolina, and I've been coming here since the first drift event ever at Formula Drift, Road Atlanta, and brought my son for the second time. This is Hendrix, so we're out to see some cool drifting today.
So one thing that really kind of sticks out to me when I'm talking to fans and having people come up is the kids. Like when they come up, it's like, oh, you like my car? And they just like light up. And the second you're like, hey, have you ever sat in a race car? And the answer is no. And you're just like, do you want to sit in this one? And they just look at their parents and look back and forth for that approval as if they don't know what's happening also. That's super cool. That always really sticks with me.
When I saw the cars turning, I got so excited. I really like drifting, like literally. Drifting is one of the bestest things ever.
After leaving the event, it's always kind of weird in a way that people come up and want to see me, want my autograph, want to see the car, and they want to chat. Because to me, I'm just a guy that's trying to race a car and have a good time. And the fact that people still like it, enjoy it, and want to follow all of that is super cool.
I've been a fan of Donut Media for about 3 years now. The reason it started was because I was looking for coilovers for my Mini Cooper. I just stumbled upon your guys' video for coilovers. Yeah.
I've been a fan of Donut Media for about 5 years. Adam Knappich around maybe 2 or 3. Once I figured out he was affiliated with Donut Media, then I kind of merged it together. So.
Just watching like videos of people drifting, playing like video games, and like I have a racing sim at home. So like drifting some on that.
I'm a driver for UPS, drive a big rig through the night, and I've been keeping up with the podcasts and watch all the videos, even when Bart used to do Science Garage and stuff. I've got 9 vehicles and 3 are motorcycles, practically souping on all of them. So, yeah, huge fan. Love everything you guys do.
His style, I like it. It's aggressive, and you know, I like the flair.
So drifting, sort of, I got a passion for that, sort of just from racing in general. And I always loved Formula Drift. The cars in Forza Horizon really influenced me to sort of get going on it, and I've just loved it ever since.
Just furthering my knowledge on cars and motorsports, adding turbos, adding horsepower. It's just an addiction.
At least to the driver, at least. I hope to be out there one day with you, man. That will be a dream come true.
Just thank you for inspiring like a young generation like mine to keep the car culture alive.
I don't know.
So, I mean, you always go into the weekend hyping yourself up. Man, I've got this. This is what we did to the car. Car made this much power. We did this and this. And oh yeah, we've got it this year. But man, things do not pan out sometimes. And the weather, of course, being Atlanta was, well, the weather. It poured rain. It sprinkled a little. It dried up. All that stuff. And it just kind of didn't work to our advantage at all. But the car did hold together. It's all in one piece. But the motor didn't blow up. And that's exactly what happened a year ago in Atlanta. So, hey, we're already on top. So next up is New Jersey. And man, this track is interesting. So it used to be a drag strip. And it looks really simple. But it's actually quite complex. Also, New Jersey is kind of the same weather-wise as Atlanta. It rains out of nowhere. So really hoping the weather stays away. Racing in the rain is tons of fun when it's like kind of an open event, but pro cars, they need to be in the dry. That's when they look cool. So if there's like one last thing I could say is just thank you. Thank you for coming along the ride. Thank you for all the words of inspiration. Anytime somebody comes by the pit, I love talking to them, shaking hands, high fives, all that good stuff. That really helps us keep going. So thank you.